Today we're going to be talking about the time that Joshy B proposed to me in front of hundreds of thousands of people.
Let's go.
It was insane. The best night of our life for sure.
It was crazy. This is your Couple Tea podcast. It's your boy Josh.
And I'm Katie. And
we are going to talk about maybe the best night of our lives. I know
the wedding. The wedding was. I don't know. They were very even. No, the wedding was better, but like this was like, it felt like a movie. Like our proposal literally felt like a scene out of a movie. Like I almost felt like a celebrity for that day. Like not even kidding. I did.
You are a celebrity.
No, I'm not. I'm just a YouTuber.
I'm just a YouTuber.
I'm just a simple girl.
Katie B is definitely a celebrity. But what is up, guys? Welcome back to episode 6 now.
That's crazy.
Let's go. We just rolling out the podcast. It's crazy.
It's so fun filming these podcasts, and we've been having just like so much fun doing it. And we do want to say, if you guys are watching on Apple and Spotify, to make sure to give it a 5-star review.
And drop a little comment with your Instagram handle on it. So we know you left a review. We'd appreciate that. But let's talk about, forget dropping reviews. Let's talk about dropping the knee, baby.
Okay, so Joshy B did it at the fight.
Okay, yeah, let's go into that. Let's
take it back. How many years ago was that?
So this was 2019. It's now 2022. So this was 3 years ago.
Yep. We had been dating for about a year and a couple months.
We're actually coming up on our proposal anniversary. It was November 9th. And what's so ironic about that is that was a fight. I fought that day, and then we got engaged after. And I'm about to fight this November,
Are you
November
gonna propose
19th.
Again?
But I'm like, I don't know how I could level that up. You know, like I fought, I won, I proposed. How do I beat that this time around?
Just do it again. No one will see it coming. No one will see that coming. They'll be like, he already did it. He's not going to do it again.
Yeah, he's not going to
Will you marry me
propose
again? No, I'm just kidding. I'd say last time you didn't knock the guy out, you could knock him out. That'd be pretty cool.
Ooh, okay. I like that. That would be pretty hype.
Yeah, that would be very hype. And like, it's in a different city. I'm so excited. Like now I'm your wife supporting you. It's way cooler than being your girlfriend supporting you.
Facts. Big family goals. But before we start talking about proposal and fights, we have to shout out a little fighter out there. Katie's little cousin, my cousin too.
So my little cousin Regan, who's 11 years old, is fighting right. Okay. I feel like every time I talk about this.
No tears.
Okay, so my little cousin Regan, who I know is going to be listening to this, we love you, Rego. You are killing it. She's the biggest fighter in the world. She was just recently diagnosed with a very rare form of bone cancer. So she is fighting that right now. She just got the news about a week ago and instantly had a whole bunch of doctor's appointments.
Crazy
had to have
life
surgery.
Changes.
She's on her second
pulled
surgery.
Out of school for the whole year, and she's about to start chemo soon.
She's starting actually today.
Yeah,
so if I'm checking my phone at all, it's because I'm talking to my aunts and uncles and prayers. And I just want to say, I know that like everything that happened with Josh's mom and Josh's mom being such a fighter, we definitely know that it was a miracle. It was like a gift from God that she is where she is today. True. And we just know that God can do another miracle and take away Regan's cancer. And we just want to ask you guys for your prayers and your encouragement. And I do want to shout out Regan's.
Gotta shout out the TikTok for her, you know?
Because I know Regan loves
makes
TikTok and it makes her so happy when you guys comment on it. So I'm going to get her account for you guys. That way you guys can like go shout her out. And if you guys don't want to do that and you want to do something even better, you guys can actually send her cards and mails and like drawings. So she has a little horse. His name's Buzz, and she loves riding horses. You guys can draw her some pictures, write her some uplifting notes and stuff.
The JD Fit office, and then we'll send them to Rego.
Yeah, we'll send it to her. So her TikTok is, I'm trying to find it. We've been messaging so much because, okay, so it's REA_Kuzmano. That's CUSMANO. So go give her a follow, go comment, go give her something like uplifting.
We'll
just
make a little 11-year-old's day, and we love you, Rego.
Yeah, and we're
all praying for you.
We're praying for you. We know that God's got you, and we're just going to be a part of this journey with you. And so is the JD fam, and you guys are going to be supportive. So speaking of the number one fighter, Regan Kuzmano. Yes.
So not a number one fighter. I can't speak today.
The number two fighter,
the number two fighter, your boy Joshy B. So proposal. Did you know about it?
Everyone. We'll get there. Let's start from the beginning of the story.
Okay.
The
beginning of the story.
It starts with you. How did you know? When did you?
It starts with me. So there was news of me potentially fighting, and I was laying in bed one night, and it wasn't even finalized or anything. And I got goosebumps. I got the chills, and I was thinking, I was like, oh my gosh, like was thinking of how to propose to Katie, had no idea how to do it. And this like just ties into our story and blends into our story so well, which was I was a fighter before and you were a YouTuber. That's how we met.
He was a professional MMA fighter, which if you guys don't know, MMA and boxing is different.
Yeah, it's mixed martial arts, cage fighting.
Yes.
So yeah, I did that professionally, and Katie was a YouTuber, and we met, and like our worlds collided, and we started doing social media together, and that's kind of what this night was. It was Logan Paul versus KSI. It was YouTube and boxing colliding and becoming one. And I was like, holy shit, like that's literally our story. That's us. So I was like, forget them. This is gonna be our night. It's gonna be the biggest night ever for us, and I'm gonna fight, and I'm gonna call Katie up in the ring and propose to her.
And so you had like a vision, right?
I was like literally laying in bed. I wouldn't call it a vision, but like in my head, I was visualizing like me doing that. Is that
a vision?
I feel like a vision's like when you're like
you're not that so Raven. I'm just saying like you shut your eyes and you had like a little like you weren't sleeping, but you had a vision. Like you had a thought.
Visualized it. Yeah.
You visualized it.
Yeah, vision.
Yeah.
I guess that's the right word. I was thinking that's so Raven, like do 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 do.
He's like back to he's like having his little vision.
I don't even know.
So he had that, and it's actually funny because we went on a trip. I think actually we went to Thailand and you fake proposed to me. I did. You pranked me. I thought you were actually proposing.
I was gonna actually
propose then after you did that prank, I thought the whole trip you were gonna propose. I really thought, and we were only dating for like 6 months, which was pretty soon.
That's what shocks me, that you thought I was gonna propose.
We were at that stage though, because we were so in love with each other. I just feel like it wouldn't have been weird if you did, but like it might have been a little soon.
It would have been a little soon for sure, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree. But like we would have been. It would have been normal for us.
Obviously, look at us now. We would have been just fine.
But then I also thought when we went on a trip, we went to California with all our friends. We're just about to hit 1 million subscribers. I thought you were going to propose the whole time.
Well, this is what's so funny is our friend pulls me aside and she goes, Josh, are you proposing to Katie? I was like, I was so caught off guard because I never in my mind had it even crossed yet.
That's funny.
And I was like, what? And she goes, yeah, like Katie pulled me aside and she thought you were gonna propose to her. Like, I just want to know, like, you gotta let me know if you're gonna, like, that way she can be ready, have her nails done and stuff. And I was like, no, I'm not. Like, that wasn't even a thought in my mind. I wasn't even thinking about it.
I was just over here waiting. I'm like, come on.
I then decided to make fun of Katie for the rest of the trip because she thought I was going to propose.
And then I thought that was a tactic. I was like, is he making fun of me because he's actually going to propose?
That would have been like a hype time to propose though. That was like hype. We had just hit a million subscribers. Yeah. Like,
but it all worked out perfectly how it did. Like, so anyway, that whole thing happened. And then like at this point, I'm like, he's got to be proposing soon. Like we're building a house together. We were building a house together.
We had just started building a house
so
together.
That's why I thought like, I was like, okay, it's coming soon. Like I felt like it was.
You weren't wrong to think it. It's just like, to me at that time, it wasn't even crossing my mind.
But that was in August.
Caught me so off guard. But yeah, then shortly after I did propose.
Yeah. So you had that vision, and then what'd you do?
Yeah, and then so I had that vision at night, and like this was all in a small span of time. Like, well, like 2 weeks. I'd say a month.
I thought you only knew about the fight for like 2-3 weeks. Like you had no time to train.
No, I had a month, but we were like in Florida, and
then it got canceled. And
there was kind of a lot of back and forth with that. But I didn't tell anybody because I don't know why. Like I'm not a secretive person, but I don't like voicing things to people because I'm scared that it won't happen.
Yeah.
You know, like even talking about goals and stuff, like I like to keep it to myself. That way, like it happens. I feel like when I talk about it a lot, it doesn't happen. I don't know why. Yeah. So I did tell my brother though, my little brother Alex, and he helped me get a ring. Thank God, because like I have no idea what I'm doing. You know?
Yeah.
I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. And for me, like the hardest part, there was 2 hard parts. One, like we do YouTube. So like, I know like if I'm going to do a proposal, it's got to be like on YouTube. Like I got to film it. I'm like, how do I film a freaking proposal? Like, how would I do that?
Yeah. And like, the thing is that's really hard about this whole proposal to keep me not knowing is that we literally spent 24/7 together. I mean, we didn't sleep at the same house, but like we spent a lot of time together.
There was absolutely no way I could have bought a ring.
We were always using each other's phones for like work and posting and like different stuff. Yep. Like we worked together. We just like, it would be so hard.
It would have been so obvious.
You actually used some of your contacts for the ring people as skydivers because you knew like I would just not think twice about that.
Yeah, so I was skydiving at the time. And so I changed the ring lady's number in my phone to like Jake from skydiving or something.
Yeah.
Because I knew
Jake
Katie would not care about like Jake from skydiving's message.
Yeah.
But like obviously if she saw like so and so ring lady, like that would be super sus.
That was a good move on your part.
Because she actually texted me while we were together, and like it worked.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, someone from skydiving just messaged you, and I was like, holy
shit.
Like,
that was close.
That was a close call.
So Josh picks out the ring, and you like custom and picked it out all yourself, which was so cool because mind you, like I didn't really have any like ring inspo too much. I had a Pinterest board, but like I didn't really know anything about rings. I thought an expensive ring was like $3,000.
So originally when I went there,
like I thought a very like top tier.
Yeah.
Like
when I went there, I told them the exactly wrong ring you wanted.
What'd you tell them?
I forget.
Princess cut.
And yeah, I told him that you wanted a princess cut ring. I was like, but I'll double check her Pinterest board. Like, obviously, I want to get this right. I looked at your Pinterest board. I screenshotted it, sent it to myself, deleted the screenshot, and then sent it to my jeweler. And I was like, okay, this is it. And she's like, yeah, that's like completely opposite of what you said.
Like,
I was
no.
like, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Josh and you know what? I actually like kind of raised a little suspicion as we were talking one day, and you were like, I was like, oh, like a $3,000 ring.
I was aggravated.
And he's like, you think $3,000 expensive? And I was like, yeah, this one about this size, like 2 carats, should probably cost about like $5,000.
And I knew everything.
He's like,
I was like,
no, because it's not just about that. It's about the cut and the clarity. And I'm like, why do you know so much? But I didn't really think too much into it. I was just like, oh, I didn't know. Like,
I think you did ask that question.
I was like, why do you? And you were just like, just be like I think you said like everyone knows, and I was like, oh, I guess I never really like thought much about it. You were like, my friend told me once or something like that.
Yeah, but basically, I had to defend myself because I was like, there's no way this girl is gonna think like this ring I bought her only costs like this money, and it's not about the money, but I'm like, yo, I'm about to go all out on this ring,
which I'm so glad you did because. Like it's something I wear every single day. And at first I always thought like, I was like, oh, I don't. And like, I really don't care because like, I don't think it really matters. Cause like, no matter what you got me, I'm going to love, but I do love that. Like it's something I'm so obsessed with. And I do love my ring so much. And it's so cool that you picked it out. Cause like, it was like my inspiration, but you like literally picked it out and helped design it, which was so cool. So anyway, Josh gets the ring. Now let's talk. We go to the fight. So we're on our way to the fight.
You're missing the part where I actually almost blew it.
Oh my God. Completely. Oh my God. Yes.
So I was training for the fight, obviously, and that was my excuse. So like I said, there was 2 perfect scenarios. Like 1, I didn't know how the heck to get away from Katie to get the ring. And 2,
away from her.
I didn't know how I was going to film the proposal. So the filming was taken off my back because I was fighting and they had tons of cameras all around.
Yeah.
Easy. Getting the ring was taken off my back because now I could just lie and say I was going to training, but really I was just going, well, I did train, but I was going to get the ring.
Yeah.
So I went to get the ring, bought the ring with my brother. We took a celebratory shot in the back. It's like 10 in the morning. The owner of the place wanted to do it and he gave me a really good deal on the ring. So I was like, totally, I'm not going to say no.
Yeah. You're like, okay, let's just take the shot.
Yeah. So I take the shot. It was disgusting. It was like some bourbon, like expensive bourbon.
Ew.
I don't even know my alcohol like that, but I was like, oh, that was nasty. And, later that day, I'm hanging out with Katie, and I literally told her, I was like, oh my gosh, I think I have a headache from that shot I took earlier.
And I was like,
and she goes, what?
Shot? I was like, what are you talking about? We didn't drink. And it was like you were at training or something like that. And you were like, did I say shot? I don't even know what I'm saying. Oh, I got punched so bad in practice. Like, I literally don't even know what I'm saying.
She literally thought we needed to go to the hospital.
I was like, Josh, I was like, are you sure you're okay? Like, I think you have a concussion. Like, maybe you shouldn't be fighting. I was like, babe, I'm scared. Like, I'm really worried. I was so worried about him.
She wouldn't let that go either for like weeks. I was like, babe, I'm fine. Trust me.
Because he lied. And I really thought, I was so scared. I was like, oh my God, like fighting. Like, he's losing his mind because that's realistic. I mean, that could happen.
It could definitely happen. And it is that dangerous. But luckily for me, that wasn't the case.
I was so worried.
To cover my back.
I believed it. I was so worried. I would like, not for a second I think you were lying. I was just like, because I feel like you don't lie to me. So I was like,
I don't.
You know? And so anyway.
But I had to use my lying skills.
I'm over here all worried about Joshy B being safe and stuff. But okay, so now we're flying to
we are going to fly to the venue. It's in LA. We were living in Michigan at the time.
It was me, you, and your coach.
Traveling with a ring is so nerve-wracking.
Oh, yeah.
Like just traveling with the ring alone. Not to mention she's with me. So now I'm nervous about the ring and she's right there with me. So I can't even like act nervous about the ring. And we're late to board the plane. Of course, we've never been late to board a plane ever. This was the only time we were late to board a plane. And we get there. It's in my carry-on bag. Of course, I'm not going to check it.
They're making us check it.
The lady at the gate's like, no, you have to check your bag. You guys were late and there's no more room. There's no overhead space anymore. And I'm like, oh, no. This has my fighting stuff in it. Like, I can't check it.
That's what he told me. He was like, I can't has my fighting stuff. Like, I need it. If I lose that, then like I'll be screwed. And I'm like, yeah.
That makes sense. And then I tell Katie and my coach, I was like, you guys go ahead, whatever. I'm just going to make sure everything's in my bag. And then like they walk over.
I remember feeling, I was like, why is he acting so weird? I was like, why is he acting so weird about his boxing stuff? But I didn't say anything to him. I was like, whatever. I'm just going to go ahead with his coach.
But it worked because I had my custom boxing shorts in there, my custom boxing robe. So that
it
kind of made sense.
But then
because I wouldn't want to lose that.
So Joshy B took the ring out of the bag and put it into his backpack and carried it with you, right?
Well, I even told the lady, I was like, yo, there's a really expensive ring in here. Like
I remember her saying something like, I don't care, or like
she goes, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
You got to take it out.
I heard her say that, but I think I heard her say that, but I don't remember. I thought you were talking about your boxing stuff and you were just like, whatever, like I'll just, so I went ahead. And then I remember sitting on the plane and I was thinking, I was like, I wonder if there's a ring in there. I was like, nah, there's not a ring. I was like, but there could be. And I was like, and then I knew, I was like, okay, Josh wouldn't do that. He's so focused on his fight.
I was so mad. I was sitting,
like do that.
I remember sitting on the plane just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe, like, of course that would happen this time around. Yeah. But we made the best out of it and we made it work.
But that was the only time I think
super nervous.
I had any suspicion. And then I completely forgot about everything. Like I totally forgot that you might have a ring.
It was a big week.
And then we go to check in the hotel. And what did I do? I didn't even know I did this.
Okay, so we checked into the hotel and obviously I have the ring in my bag. And hotels, I don't want it to get stolen. Like this is a big deal. Like there's a lot on my plate.
It was a very expensive ring, like for it to get stolen
too. Of course. And even if it wasn't, I wouldn't want it to get stolen. But we leave the room, right? And the ring's still in my bag. And I go, oh, babe, I forgot something in the room. I forgot my wallet. I'm going to run back and grab it quickly.
And I didn't have a key to get back in the room. So he left me out in the hall. And I believed it. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, because we were like a couple rooms down. And I ran back, shut the door, knew you couldn't get back in. I mean, I had the key.
You literally have done that so many times. Like we've done that on vacations and stuff. So like that was normal.
I put the ring in the safe, made it a code. Like obviously you would never guess. And then it came back out. Life went on. The next day you're like, oh, like we should put this in the safe. Like I don't want to leave it out. And I was like, I think it was like our camera gear or something.
It was our camera or my purse or something.
And I was like, yeah, totally. I go and I'm like, wait, that's weird. The safe is locked. Someone must have locked it and left it locked.
I believe that too.
But like, it's just funny because like I forgot that even happened. But that's sus. But like when you think about it, like it wouldn't seem that suspicious, because I'm sure that could happen. Mm-hmm. But
and then day of the fight,
you were really prying. You were really trying to ruin the surprise.
I didn't know. It really wasn't like in.
You didn't know you were, but you were.
Yeah, I didn't know. And so anyway, the day of the fight, Joshy B is thinking to himself, he's like, okay, I gotta film this the sit down like intro of our proposal. Like I gotta tell them like, like the typical, like I'm going to propose, say like how he's feeling and stuff. And he kicks me out of the room. But like you told me you had it. Tell me why you.
So this is true regardless. I probably would have kicked you out of the room because like for me, fight day, it's like there's so much on your mind. There's a lot of emotions.
You don't want to get in a fight. You don't want any.
Not that I would think we would even fight or anything, but like I'm just like so in my head and trying to almost like a meditation state. Like I want to just be like left alone.
You don't want distractions.
I don't want distractions. So I told her that. I was like, oh, like if you don't mind like just leaving, like grab your stuff. Like you can get ready in your sister's room. Like
No, you said I could get ready in there because you were going to go early. I could come back and get ready. You were just like, just kind of like, I want to be alone for the day.
I told you I was going to take a nap and then just be alone for the day, which I did do all of that. But like the main concern was like, I got to film an intro to this YouTube video because I was like, if I do it after, it's just not going to be the same. Like I wanted to get like
the real raw.
Honestly, it's for me. Like selfishly, I was like, I want to like go back. We watch it and it's like, wow, that's so crazy. Cool. Like to know where I was mentally in my mind that day, I was like, I'm about to fight in front of millions of people watching. That was streamed by millions of people, thousands of people live. That's and crazy. I'm about to propose to my wife. I'm like, this is the most nerve-wracking thing I've ever done. Girlfriend at the time.
I'm about to propose to my
yeah that didn't make sense. But yeah, so like cool. To sit there and like see my emotions and somehow I put together like an intro to a video. I don't even know how I did that because honestly,
what'd you do with that footage?
What do you mean?
Like, did you hide the camera? Did you just know I wasn't gonna film? Like, what'd you do?
That's a good question.
Because I'm sure you would have thought of that. Like, oh, what if Katie went and watched?
I put it on my laptop and then deleted it off the SD card because you filmed on the camera later that day, I believe.
Oh, okay. So.
Or you had a separate camera.
I just went out to eat with like some friends, and then my dad and my sister and like people were all of our friends that were in town for the fight. So to me, it wasn't that bad.
I was gonna call your dad and ask him for his permission, as a gentleman would, but I'm not even gonna lie. I forgot. And thank God I did because you were with him.
Yeah.
Like, that would have been, but I was going to like go about it. I was going to make up some way because like I had planned on doing this, but I honestly I can't.
You know what though? My dad is so like cool with you, and I feel like you already know. It's more of like a respect thing. I think
there's so much on my mind.
Yeah, and
I feel
my
bad.
My dad wasn't like too mad about that. I'm sure like he would have liked if you would have, but my dad,
course.
I'm glad you didn't tell him because me and my dad
you guys
actually
like fighting.
We got in a little fight before the proposal. And my dad is like the best. Me and my dad don't really fight ever, but sometimes my dad gets a little anxious about being places like super on time. And he was kind of like putting all this pressure and anxiety. But like we were we got there so early, like way too early. And even I told my dad, like he thought we were so late. And I'm like, Dad, you don't get there for the first, like all the prelims. Like he thought we had to be at every single fight. And I understand, like he was just excited. But I was like, Dad, I'm not finished getting ready. Like I want to look good. Like we'll be there for Josh's fight. We'll have plenty of time. And so he kind of was like pressuring us, and like we were trying to take pictures and just like enjoy the time.
Of course.
And I think he was getting a little anxious. And so we kind of were beefing, and I'm kind of glad that you didn't, because I don't think he would have, but like
I don't think it would have came out.
I hope not, but like it could have. So I'm just glad that you didn't, because
he would have been like, oh, well, you're going to miss your proposal.
Yeah.
Cough.
Like maybe he wouldn't. I don't think he would have.
He wouldn't have done that.
He wouldn't have, but like just in case, like, I'm glad that it all worked out how it did.
It all worked out, and Doug was super cool about it. Obviously, we talked after. He did a little toast with champagne. We'll get there though. But oh my gosh, I just remember walking into that stadium and just like looking around. I was like so nervous.
Dude, I was walking down to our seats. I was like, there's no way my boyfriend's about to fight in front of this many people. I was like walking down. I was like, this is the coolest feeling ever. Like I literally I don't know, just walking down, I was like, this is so wild. Like the atmosphere, everything. I was like, my nerves were through the roof. I was so nervous. Not that you would get I wasn't nervous that you'd lose.
It's a fight. You can get it. So fighting, like a lot of people don't understand. Like,
it's not
it
like
doesn't
a football
matter
game
how good you are. Like anyone can get put to sleep. Like everyone has a button. Like everyone just, if you get hit the wrong way or you don't see it coming, like you could go to sleep.
It's very
that's a big deal.
Unpredictable.
That's scary.
Yeah, it's unpredictable, and it's just, to me, I'm just like, I've never seen. That was my first time watching you fight as your girlfriend. I watched when we were kind of talking, but it was different. I didn't care about you like how I did then. Like I was so in love with you. Like I didn't want anything, and I also was nervous. I was like, if he lost, I would just hate to he'd be so sad, and I'd feel so bad, So it's just being your girlfriend, you want me to be great. I want you to be great, and I want you to be happy, and I just want it to be the best outcome ever. So I was so nervous for that, and I was so invested in your fight. Oh my God, I was so invested.
So I forgot to mention this. So before the fight, before we even left to go to Cali, I had to make sure with the promotion. So I was on a WhatsApp text with all these guys.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I had to make sure with the promotion that I was allowed to propose. Well, at first I told him, I was like, I want to propose to my girlfriend at the fight. Gave him the scenario, everything. And they're like, okay, sick. We weren't going to give you TV time, but now we're going to give you TV time. And when I say TV time, my fight was going to be on TV, but they weren't going to interview me after the fight. Yeah. That was the TV time they were discussing. And they're like, oh, okay, well, if you're going to propose, obviously we got to interview you.
Yeah, they're like, I'll be good.
And I was like, okay. And they're like, only thing is, you have to propose win or lose. I was betting on myself. I was doubling down.
And mind you, guys,
you imagine if I lost?
Josh wasn't fighting. Josh wasn't fighting an influencer. He was fighting a legit fighter, like a professional MMA fighter.
Yeah, in boxing. So it was both of our first boxing fights. But I had never boxed before. This was a whole new life to me.
But what I'm saying is like, there's just a difference in my opinion between an MMA fighter and an influencer.
Well, what we're trying to say,
boxing,
it was not a guaranteed win.
No,
there was no cards on the table. This guy had no fights to watch.
No videos, no proof.
It was nowhere near a guaranteed win. Like I could have literally stepped in there and got annihilated.
It was such a gamble. Like this kid could have been like his specialty in MMA could have been like striking.
He could have had 100 amateur
and,
fights. Like you never know how much experience these people have.
So I was so nervous. Like I was just like, oh, I wish I could watch and like confirm that he's not that good, so I'd have more confidence.
You didn't even know the stakes.
No, I know.
If I would have lost, I would have had to get up there.
Makes me nervous thinking about it.
Upset. Like
I don't know.
I wouldn't have proposed. So like obviously I told him I would, but like in my head I knew I was gonna win. And also I was like, if I do lose though,
what was your backup plan?
I'm not proposing. I was definitely not proposing. I was gonna look at the promoter and go, it's not happening.
Like, what are they gonna? I mean, unless you signed like a contract saying you were going to.
Yeah, technically I didn't sign a contract saying I was, but like they would have been pissed because they gave me the TV time. But I don't care. Like
I think they would have got.
That's the rest of my life. You know, I'm not proposing after I lose a fight. But yeah, I did have a plan B. So we'll get into that.
Do you want to do that now? Plan B?
Let's come back to it because I have a cool story. Like one of the coolest stories I feel like I have of this. So 2 people knew I was proposing. One of my best friends, Chris, and my little brother, Alex. Mm-hmm. That was it. So backstage, I've
a friend at the time also knew.
Who? I said Chris.
No.
Oh yeah, they knew as well. Yeah, because I needed help with the rings, so they knew. I forgot. And then, but backstage, I had my corner men, my coaches. Mm-hmm. I have Kara, she was my main coach, and then my buddy Jeremy and my buddy Chris, Preacher Chris.
Also, everyone thought that Josh was boxing coach, and she was dog fighter. Like she's a really good.
Beast.
They thought it was me.
They thought it. Yeah,
they thought like his girlfriend was training him.
I know, that's kind of funny. But obviously it wasn't. Yeah. She's a really good fighter. She's a beast. But anyways, so I haven't told any of them yet. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like one of them has to hold the ring.
Yeah.
And like, plus I don't want them to be super confused, like what's going on after the fight. Cause it's going to like go down fast. And I'm like, someone's got to take my gloves off too. So I pulled Chris and Jeremy. So I was in like a little locker room and it had its own bathroom. So I pulled both of them in the bathroom and I'm like, yo, I gotta tell you guys something. And both of them are they're like suspicious because like this is weird.
Yeah, they're like, is he gonna back out? Like,
what could he possibly tell me? And I'm like,
he's like, I'm pregnant.
So I'm gonna propose to Katie after the fight, like in the boxing ring. And they're both like, what? And like Jeremy instantly like starts like tearing up. He's like, bro, like that's beautiful, man. Like, oh, I love that. And like that's he walked in the stall because like I'm like, bro, you can cry in front of me. Like it's not like we've all cried in front of each other before. But
that's so cool.
But yeah, he's like, why would you do that to me before a fight, bro? Like, why are you telling me this now? Like, I'm not supposed to be emotional. But it was funny. Like, he was super cool about it. And then obviously Chris was the exact same. He was super stoked about it. And I was like, okay, someone's got to hold the ring. And I'm like, I don't trust Jeremy with it.
No, I think Jeremy said he didn't trust himself.
He's like, nah, don't give that to me.
He's like, I don't want that.
I was like, it's expensive. Like, who can I trust? He's like, no, don't give it to me. And I gave it to Chris. Luckily,
Preacher Chris.
He had the zip pants on. So
yeah, the Lulu zip pants.
Yeah, heck yeah.
So he held the ring.
Yeah, so he held the ring, and like that was just a cool story backstage. So
I
thought that was fun.
So you win your fight, right?
Yep.
You win the fight, and they come up to me and they're like, "Hey, do you want to come congratulate him on stage real quick?" Like what the producers of like the.
Well, hold on. Let's before we get there, like let's talk about like before the fight, they kept putting the camera on you, right?
Oh, they had the camera on me the whole fight. The whole fight, there was one cameraman specifically on me. I was like, I didn't know the girlfriend's got this much attention, but what's up?
Like, how you doing?
They literally, I was like, oh my gosh. Oh, I just hit the mic. They're like, literally one cameraman, you're fighting, and there's just one guy right at me. I'm like, this is crazy.
Did you feel the pressure?
I literally felt like I was a celebrity. Like I was like, why is like, hey, like I was like, why is it just on me?
You didn't know how to act. Huh?
I was like, okay, we gotta act like, oh, go babe, you got this. But I was like, let's go. I'm like trying not to act all like crazy, like excited.
I could actually hear all you guys.
Like, I was screaming. I'm like, let's go, babe, come on. I was like, let's go. I love sports. If you don't know that about me, I get very into them, and especially when it's my boyfriend fighting, and now my husband. Like I just get very excited.
She was definitely locked in for that.
And so the cameraman was on me the whole time. And then after the fight, someone comes up to me, and it was like the producer, and she was like, oh, do you want to like go congratulate him on stage? And I was like, yes, of course. So they bring me up, and everyone's like, you had to have known when they asked you to go on stage. And I'm like, no. I was like, that's normal. Like, I feel like watching other influencers fights and their wives, they always come up on stage and like hug them and congratulate them.
Yeah, usually like the fighters, maybe not in boxing, but definitely in MMA, like the fighters like wife or girlfriend or family comes in the cage. Even in boxing, if it's a big fight,
they come in,
and then like for the influencer boxing, like it was kind of like a story, you know, like you know, it was like you were the girlfriend, I was the boyfriend, and like
it was our YouTube channel.
a YouTube channel together, so it like made sense for you to come in the ring and like congratulate me. Like you didn't know you were getting on like mic or
no. I just thought like I was just gonna like come and hug and I just want at that point I just want to hug and kiss you because I was like so excited. And so I walk up there, and mind you, I'm like, oh my god, just gotta make sure my dress is pulled or my skirt's pulled down, make sure I'm not like flashing
sure you look
a little boob flash or anything. Like I gotta make sure I look good. And I go up there, step in the ring, and then Josh starts talking and he starts saying his speech.
Well, you know what's funny is when they raised my hand for the fight, like saying I won, like, and
miserable.
I had already known I won. I was so locked in and so nervous. I didn't even crack a smile. Never have I got my hand raised and not smiled.
No, I know. I'm looking at it.
Straight face, like
you look like stressed almost.
I was stressed.
And so they raise his hand.
The ring was in my hand at this time. It was in my right hand.
See, that's just I was so nervous. I didn't even.
They're raising my left hand, and the ring's in my right hand, like behind my butt.
Gosh,
like I did not give a shit.
That makes me nervous for you.
Me
like
getting my hand raised. What's honestly like going back and looking at it, like. That was a lot of pressure.
That's so much. I can't believe you did that. But you always used to say pressure makes diamonds.
Because I remember in the corner right before they did the announcement who won the fight, I'm like, I fixed my face. Like, how do I look? Am I bleeding? Like, wipe the sweat off of me.
Yeah. You're like, give me right.
It's like, give me looking right. He's like, fix your hair. I was
so like, they raise his hand. He starts saying his speech. He's like, I'm not going to call out Logan Paul or KSI. Or he's like, the only person I'm going to call out is my girlfriend.
You were probably like, what the fuck?
If you watch the proposal back, I look at him almost like I'm disgusted, but I'm not. I was confused. I'm like,
and what's funny too, because Katie had told me like leading up to the fight, and like obviously if I wasn't proposing, I would have done this. But she's like, you totally got to call out like Logan Paul, Jake Paul, or KSI. Like,
yeah, I was like, you got to call them out. I was like, as soon as you win, because I'm like, you got to get like a big fight. I was like, you got to like call them out. Because at that time too, like Jake Paul wasn't really a good. In my opinion. I mean, he'll even say his old videos were trash.
He's not what he is now.
Yeah, he's a lot better now. But I was like, you got to call them out. Like they all think they can be boxers and stuff. I was like, call them out. And so he says that. And I'm looking at him like, what are you doing? And then he calls me. He's like, come here, baby. And like, you had never called me baby.
I don't call you baby. I don't know where that came from.
You're like, come here, baby. And I'm like, okay. And then I was like, congrats. I think we kissed or something, right? Or no, we didn't.
I don't remember.
And then you literally dropped down to a knee, and I'm like this. I'm like I look like almost like shook, like I was like almost mad or something at first. Am I not mad? But I'm like,
you looked mad.
I'm really like, what is he doing? Like I was like, what is going on? And then I was like, oh my gosh, this is really happening. And then I said yes. I didn't even look at the ring for a second. And then like when you like were putting on the ring, I was like, oh my god, that's so big. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, this is huge. And it's funny because I never told anyone this, but I actually before he proposed, I had nightmares that he was gonna give me a really bad ring, like a really ugly, not about the size of the ring, just like an ugly, like weird ring that I would never want to wear.
Nothing.
I had multiple nightmares, and like I saw it, I was like, oh my god, it's beautiful. And then I was just like so excited, and it's so embarrassing because I've never got to talk about this, but I'm really excited I get to say this. Is the announcer's like, you just got proposed to, how do you feel? And I go, I'm so sweaty.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, like I forgot you did that, but then I went back and watched it, and you can go watch the proposal video on YouTube on our channel JD Vlogs. It's like our most popular video. But yeah, why the hell did you say that?
So I wasn't sweaty. I had just hugged Josh, and I wasn't even paying attention to what he was asking me. I literally stepped off Josh, and I was like, I'm so sweaty. Like I wasn't sweaty.
Soaked.
Josh was soaking wet, and I hugged him, and I was like, ew, I'm so sweaty. Like it was just my initial reaction. Like I wasn't responding to his comment. I kind of was just like, I'm so sweaty. Like I just hugged the sweatiest man in the world.
You were just realizing. Like,
I was just realizing like, ew, like his sweat's all over me. And like, I was like, that is so embarrassing because I'm not sweaty. I wasn't sweaty at all. Like I wasn't even.
Did you follow it up? I don't even remember. Like what Was it just I'm so sweaty?
And then he asked me a different. The announcer asked like a really weird question.
He kind of like ruined. Yeah, he was like, is this one of those things where you're gonna go backstage and yell at him for doing? And you're like,
I'm like, no.
Like,
what?
Why would I do it? But I know what he meant.
I know what he means. Like, because some people don't like to be proposed or wouldn't want in like a public proposal.
Right.
But I was like, no. Like, and I was just like, oh, I'm so happy or something. And he asked me other questions, and I was normal. Like, I wasn't nervous for him asking me questions. He honestly kind of came out of nowhere, and I was like so overwhelmed, like just looking at Josh, and I felt like I still was having a conversation with Josh. And it's funny that I said that.
I didn't say anything after that, did I? That was it. Like I just said what I said, proposed, and then like
they like just had the camera, and it was. I actually watched a video.
She said yes.
Yeah, the iconic. She said yes.
That's the only thing that announcer did well.
Yeah, he did that really good. No, he didn't do bad. It was just like a couple random questions.
The question was random.
We actually got super lucky because Josh didn't really plan anyone to take pictures of the proposal. Did you even tell your like media person?
No, he had no idea.
And the media person actually kind of blew up on social media. His name's Cam Casey. And
well, at the time, so there's an open weigh-in. It was Wednesday night before the fight, and he came up to me like on the street in what beach is that? Venice Beach, and he's like, "Hey, do you have someone doing your media for like your fight night?" And I'm like, "No," and he's like, "I'll do it," and he's like, I'm a photographer like around here, blah blah blah. Didn't really know what to think about it. Got his Instagram, and then I was like, all right, well, like, what do I got to lose? Like, maybe I'll get a couple cool pictures, whatever. Yeah. And he got the fire flicks.
So he took pictures, and there's one of our pictures, there's a camera guy in the way. He would have been totally in the way, but a different camera crew guy pushed him out of the way. Really? I just watched our friend's video at the time. They're like, because it was like all the BTS of us. Yeah. And I saw like the guy was in the way, and someone like pushed him aside. So he got that picture because someone pushed him away. Yeah. And I was like, we didn't have anyone planned to get those pictures, and we got those like right away. It was so exciting. And Josh, you posted a picture unedited. I was like, you should have let me edit it. It made it even better. But he was so excited. He like posted it right away. We posted it. It was like the best night of our lives. Well, the weird thing though was Josh proposed. And then you went back, you had to go shower and stuff. And I couldn't.
Yeah, I had to say bye. I was like, okay, bye.
Yeah, like he proposed, and then like instantly he left. We didn't get to talk about it or anything. He went backstage, and I don't think
but I could. Like Katie was with like our friends and stuff. So it was cool.
Still fun. Like I was like freaking out with my friends, and I was like, where's my fiance? I was like, that's so cool to say. Like, where is he? So weird. Josh comes back, he's showered, and we watched the Logan Paul KSI fight, and like all these YouTubers are around us. And then I see Justin Bieber in the corner. I'm like, holy shit, did Justin Bieber just watch us get proposed? Like, that's so cool.
He probably did.
Yeah, like all these like big influencers that like people I've watched for a long time. I thought it was really cool that they all saw that too. And they got to hear a little bit of our story and like see that. So I thought that was really exciting. Right. And just the fight.
What's crazy is like, I had rehearsed what I was going to say like a million times in my head.
Can we hear
it
now?
Every time we used to run on the treadmill, like I was like running, playing like my hype up song, and I was like literally like word for word going over it. Like I remember one time like I was running on the treadmill and I was getting all soft inside, like because I was like, wow, I'm about to propose to this girl. Like she doesn't even know it. Like as I'm like training for a fight, I'm like, what is going on? Like there's too many emotions right now in my head.
So what were you gonna say?
I don't remember anymore. Obviously, it didn't come out that night. What I was planning on saying.
If you were to propose right now, what would you say? I want to hear it. Come on, let's see what you got. Let's see how creative you could be.
What would I say?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Let's hear it.
What would you say?
Okay, if I was a guy and I was proposing to you, I'd be like, Josh, you're the love of my life.
Like I want to spend the basic. I want to spend the rest of my life with you and build a family with you and grow old together.
Make babies with you.
Is that what you would say?
No.
That's where you were going. Like,
Josh, you ain't gonna find nobody better than me. So just say yes.
No, you know, I actually had second thoughts.
Whoa. You had second thoughts?
Not on proposing. Second thoughts, like thinking that like, well, what if she says no? Like I'm setting myself up for the most embarrassing thing on planet Earth. If you were to say no, are you kidding me? But okay, hear me out. Okay. I didn't think you were going to say no. Like, no, I don't want to marry you. I was thinking, I was like, what if like awkwardly, like she's so caught off guard that she goes like, oh my God, no. Like, not like
no, yes.
Yeah. Like a no, yes. But like they take the mic, like someone clips it or something. I was like, it's going to be so embarrassing.
No. It literally worked out so perfect. It was so amazing.
Well, yeah, and it didn't have to be perfect. It just happened. It was perfect for us. So
and what was so cool is after the fights, everything, we walk out, we end up going to like a club, and we get to go with all of our friends, like all of our closest people. Like, well, not all, but a lot of them were there.
Yeah, whoever could make it out.
All the way to LA from Michigan, which was so cool. And we got to go to a club and go celebrate with everyone. We stayed out so late. We literally left the club. And Josh was like, you were pretty drunk after this. It was so funny.
I was more so, like, I was definitely
You were like hype drunk.
But I was like, I was
He was walking up to trees.
I just want to fight. I just proposed to my wife. Like, are you kidding me? Or girlfriend? Like, I was like, this is insane.
You walked up to trees. You're like, what? You want to go, bro? You started like punching the trees. And I was like,
I've been a silly goofy
Yeah, you were
move.
just in a silly. I was like, someone get him. I was like, and then they're all like, that's your man, Katie. Like, he's all yours. And
I had
was
to
like,
let you know what you were stuck with for the rest of your life. And then
we went and got pancakes and waffles
at like 3
or 4 in the morning.
Yeah, like good times. Yeah. But in case all went bad and I lost.
Plan B. Let's talk about plan B.
I had a plan B, which honestly, if I would have lost a fight, I think I would have been like so upset about it, depending on how it went. I don't think plan B would have worked anyways.
I'm so glad it wasn't plan B because it wouldn't have been nearly as special too, because it would have just been with our friends at the time and not like our close people throughout our life.
They weren't going to like be in the proposal. Like they were just like helping set it up.
But they would have been the ones we would have celebrated. We wouldn't have been able to celebrate with all our, like my sisters.
But we had
my dad.
Yeah, true. We had a trip planned to Hawaii like a week after the fight.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my backup plan. I was like, okay, we'll go to Hawaii. And then we'll just take like a private helicopter to a little beach and I'll have the setup all on the beach. Like we'll walk up to the setup, like we're just taking cute pics or whatever. And then there'll be like the ring will already be there. Get the ring, like drop down on a knee. Honestly, it was cool because like I like a beach proposal like for us because like that's something we love the beach and like
I think those are really pretty too.
But that is so much like outside stuff that could go wrong that I have no control of.
Yeah, like weather.
That scares me. I'm like, well, what if it rains? What if the heli cancels? What if the setup doesn't go well or get someone messes it up?
It rained a lot too in Hawaii too. It was very like
well, the day that we were talking about potentially doing that, it rained on. So
it all worked out perfect. I'm just so glad it worked out the way it did. And that proposal would have been really amazing. I think no matter what you did.
I think it would have been so cool. Like
everyone's story is different and everyone.
I think I could propose like at a restaurant and it'd be cool. Like like,
I was just so excited to be like engaged to Josh and to get to marry him and start planning that and everything. But that night was literally so fun. Like I don't know. I felt like I was in a movie. I literally felt, and like when we were walking, like after you fought and we like had just got proposed, everyone was screaming like in the stadium, like congrats! Like let me.
What
get
did
a picture.
That little kid say to me? Oh, he like a 5-year-old with like he was with his dad and his little other brothers or buddies, and he goes, "Just remember, man, happy wife, happy life."
Oh yeah, like a little kid said that to him, and it was so cute. We took so many pictures with subscribers and like different people, and then random people just saying congrats. All these like influencers telling us like it was just, in my opinion, it was like so fun and so special.
It was a very fun night, and it was unique to us. And honestly, obviously, I would never propose in a ring. Like if it didn't, that wouldn't have made sense. Like,
you even said you were like, I always told myself I would never do this.
Yeah, because like I used to call it. I guess honestly, when I look back and think about that, that doesn't really make sense. But I used to say like I was like, oh, why would someone propose out? Because I watched MMA and like I've seen a couple people propose after an MMA fight, and I'm like, I just feel like that's like the worst time to propose. You're sweaty. You're potentially beat up. Like what if you lose? Like literally everything I did. And so yeah, I like always told myself, I was like, why would anyone do that? Mm-hmm. But like for me, it wasn't so much like, oh, like let's do it here. Like it was more so like the story. I'm like, it's just like it fits us so perfectly. Like we met at a boxing gym. I was a fighter, you were a YouTuber. And then like we started doing YouTube together, and like this was fighting and YouTube coming together. It's just like made so much sense in my head. I was like, I have to do it.
I think
it was so cool because like for me, I thought it was really dope. I'm like, all our people back home watched it live. Like all our supporters got to watch it live. Like
my mom couldn't even make the fight. Like my mom was a little mad at Josh because she wasn't there. She's like, I should have known. But like
I tried to tell her to come to the fight a million times.
But the thing is like she still got to like watch it, and like who gets to watch like a live proposal?
No, I know. And I feel like for the most part, like family's not really at the proposal unless like you really plan that out. A lot of people get proposed to on vacation and stuff. Like, I feel like family's usually not even there.
And Biz and Alex, like Alex knew, and he was sitting next to my sister Biz, and my sister was recording. She's like, "Oh my god, oh my god!"
Well, that's what's so cool too, is because like a lot of people were recording like at home, watching on TV, like.
Because we're on stage, like
we were on stage, and like so, like you can literally like hear their reactions.
Oh my gosh, yeah!
Which is so fun for me because like that's just so cool.
Everyone
like, that's
was,
so
like,
unique, you know,
crying and
like people were so stoked, and then we had all our friends like sitting right there, like front row.
It was just such a special moment, and
just so sick,
so sick. Like I don't know, I love that day so much.
Would you go back and change anything besides not saying I'm so sweaty?
Honestly, I don't even care.
Like the outfit, I think was there anything you would change?
The outfit I loved. We were like matching. I mean, now it's a little out of style because like I don't think
that's always gonna happen.
But that's always gonna happen. It was like, but I think it was such a cute outfit. Okay, one thing that irritated me so much, and I wanted to talk about this, is our proposal video was taken at such a weird angle, like of my face. Like they were like up and under, and like before I had like my nose job, I didn't think my nose was like that bad, and it really wasn't. It was only like specifically bad at like certain angles, and that was the angle. So the video that they took, I was like, my nose looks so bad in this, and it just made me feel a little sad because I was like, I love this video so much, but like I there was all these. Since it blew up, and if you guys know anything about social media, if anything blows up, you get so much hate.
Random people are commenting that don't know you, don't care about you, and they're just like commenting the first thing they see. And like there was people making mean comments. There was people commenting about the ring is fake, blah blah blah. Like there was so many people have weird comments.
A lot of people who were like kind of like almost salty that like I think they thought the ring was like so nice, so they were like, "This is so fake. Like that's the fakest diamond I've ever seen." Or they're like, the one comment that made me so mad, they're like, "Her nose is bigger than the ring," like this, and I was like, okay, first of all, I really didn't even have a big nose. I had a little bump in my nose.
First of all, anybody's nose is bigger than a ring.
Yeah,
like, that doesn't even make sense unless you have like, I mean, my nose is bigger than the ring. Are you kidding me? Like that's the stupidest comment
but
ever.
Like there was so many comments about like how ugly I was and like stuff like that, and I was just like, yes, there was on Facebook. On Facebook there was. There was.
Well, they're crazy.
Yeah, that was like really mean. And
people
like
that only people commenting that, they just feel that way about themselves.
No, you know that. I know that, and I didn't really take that too much into it, but I feel like that definitely like hurt a lot because I was already so insecure about my nose.
It blows my mind that someone would literally watch
comment that
a happy video like that, and first thing they think of is to take time out of their day, and time is finite. Like you don't have a lot of time in your life. Like you're taking time out of your day to post a comment hating on someone that you don't even know. How crazy does that sound?
Because I don't think that
sounds so crazy.
I think all the people that leave hate don't think that people actually read it, but like they do. They just don't respond to it.
But it's not even the fact that like people read it or not. It's just
they want to be funny
weird
though.
To me that like people would even waste time out of their day to do that.
It's because they want to be funny. They want other people to think that by being mean, they were being funny. That's 100% what it is. They want like validation from someone else, or they're insecure about something, or maybe that they're like, oh, like my ring's not as big. Like, let me like kind of like crap on them. Like, that's how I think people like when they think negatively, it's like they're either jealous or
my brain
just
is not routed that way. Like I could never like waste my time to leave a hate comment. My time is way too important to waste time and do that.
But regardless, the video did so good on social media. It was such a big video, and I was so excited to share that moment.
If there's one video I could pick to be number one, like that, I feel like that would be it.
That one or the wedding video,
because like those are two of our like favorite days ever.
The wedding was like,
if you had to pick wedding or proposal, which one you choosing? I don't know. I honestly, it's very hard for me. I don't know. The wedding was amazing.
Like, the wedding was like one of the best nights of my life.
But the only thing,
the proposal was like nerve-wracking fun. Like it was everything too. But the wedding was so perfect. Like
the wedding was
so
nerve-wracking too.
Yeah,
I was nervous.
They're like tied for me. Honestly, I don't think I could pick one.
I would say maybe just the wedding, just because we had more of our people there.
Yeah, I think everyone was there.
Difference.
And like it was just so special.
Because you got to think, like, from your point of view, like, you're hanging out with people a lot during the fight, but, like, I was, like, backstage, headphones on, like, warming up.
Yeah.
Like,
we should actually do a whole podcast about the wedding, because I even think there's a lot of, like, tips we could give people, like, do's and don'ts of the wedding, like, our whole wedding story and everything like that, because I just know there's a lot of things that I would change about.
You would change?
Not a lot. A couple things that happened to us that I would change. But like, I think our wedding was perfect, and there was actually only a couple things I would change.
Yeah,
but a couple things that I would recommend people to do.
It would just be fun to talk about, because I love that day.
And no one really knows the story of the day. Like, we didn't vlog the whole day. We didn't tell any stories.
Yeah, there's a lot.
There's like wild stories from our wedding that happened that we weren't even a part of, that we heard, like crazy things going on.
Okay, yeah, I guess we could definitely talk about the wedding. That would be a fun,
like, all the drama leading up, like day of, like the nerves, everything.
Oh my gosh. What a day. So fun.
I
want to relive it.
I really do want to.
I wish I could get married. I'll re-propose at this fight.
Okay, we'll get married.
And then we'll re-get married. And it'll just be 2 big parties again. Why not?
I keep telling my mom, since she wasn't at the proposal, I'm like, he'll propose again. Don't worry.
Yeah, come to this fight. I'll just redo it for you.
I'll just redo it all. But I am so excited for Josh's fight. Like, we have been so busy recently.
See, I don't know if I even regret
not
telling your mom. Do you think your mom would have spoiled it?
Sorry, Mom.
Sorry, Karen. Yes. I just feel like Karen would have spoiled it.
No offense. And
that's not why I didn't tell her.
I love our moms. I love both of our moms, but I think that both of them might accidentally slip to a friend who's going to tell a friend, who's going to tell another friend, and who's going to tell Facebook.
To be fair, that's not why I didn't tell her. I didn't tell her because I didn't tell anybody.
You didn't even tell my sister Biz.
I know. I didn't want to tell anybody. Yeah. You didn't even ask your dad. That's my only real regret.
I do actually have a regret of... Well, not really a regret, but I wish that this wouldn't have happened. So me and my sister kind of got, not in a fight, but she was very upset with me and very hurt with me the day of my proposal.
Oh yeah, because I got a couple free tickets, like ringside, and then a couple free tickets that weren't ringside,
but they were still close. Seats. So he had 4 tickets and 4 tickets.
Yeah, it was 4 and 4.
And we had at the time our close friends, which I'm sure you guys know who they are or were, and we had told them, like, because at the time we had all of our friends who really couldn't afford. They were flying all the way out here. We didn't want to make them spend any more money. Same with my family.
Well, yeah,
they weren't financially as set as.
Well, that's friends. Not even it. It's like those guys have been with me since my first ever fight in MMA. Like, they've been with me from my 8 amateur fights, my 6 pro MMA fights. I'm like, those guys they're trumping everyone anytime.
Of course.
So they got the 4 free tickets.
And then next family.
And then next came family, and then basically our friends, I was like, hey, like, I can get 2 tickets for you next to them, but you got to pay for them.
Yeah.
And they're expensive. Like, they were ringside tickets. And so they did. And then, but Katie's sister didn't know that, and she was sitting in the not so close seats.
Well, didn't they come out of your purse? Like your But
purse.
Your purse. A purse is like how much you get or something for the fight. But yeah, so they were supposed to pay for their tickets. And my sister was like, got a free ticket, but was further away. And I think my sister's feelings were a little hurt because, like,
she didn't know that.
She didn't know.
She thought that we picked them over.
She thought we gave, like, our friends that I had only known for like 2 years at the time over, like, my sister, who was like my sister, like the ringside tickets and to be next to her. So I think she also felt a little left out because, like, I'm celebrating with my friend and my sister's like, hey, like, I'm over here. Like, I want to celebrate with you. Like, I love you. I've always been there. So I think her feelings were hurt. But then after, I was like, why are you, like, being like, so? She's like, I'm not. And we kind of got in a little fight, like, couple weeks after the proposal. I was like, you didn't even seem like happy. She's like, she told me. And then I was like, Biz, I would never do that to you. Like, and we, like, worked it out. And, like, I'm glad we talked about it because I would never have done that to Biz.
And then obviously, I mean, in her opinion, like, rightfully so too. Like, I would have been upset, but
because
once you understand the situation, it just makes sense. Like,
and when your sisters,
we didn't give anyone those.
You understand that because me and Biz have been so close in so many situations, and it's like I think she wasn't jealous or mad. She's just like, I just wanted to be there with you and celebrate, and I felt like I was, like, put at a distance from you.
But yeah, it was.
So that's the only thing I changed.
It was super fun.
It was. We went to, what club did we go to?
I don't know what it's called. Like
One
some
Oak?
basic one. Yeah.
One Oak.
Yeah.
And the guys behind us.
Well, we got in. That we only went there because we got in for free. Or else there was no way they were gonna let us in because we had like 12 dudes and like what 3 girls. We had 3 girls, like 12 dudes, And like, if you guys have ever been to a club, they don't let that ratio in.
No.
Like, you're going to have to wait in like hour-long lines and pay a lot of money to get in with that many guys. But the guy sitting behind us at the fight bet on me, and he was the owner of the club, and he's like, you just won me so-and-so amount of money.
You won him $10,000.
Yeah, it was like $10,000. Come to my club tonight. It's on me. Like, I'll buy bottles. Like, you guys get a VIP booth. Like, I'll get everybody in. He didn't know I had 12 dudes and 3 girls. He didn't know that ratio was a little off. So when we got there, he was like, oh, okay, you got this many guys? I was like, well, yeah, they traveled from Michigan. He's like, all right.
And he made it work, and we got in, and he brought like a ton of different like bottle servers that said like congrats and stuff. And I didn't know.
Way too much alcohol that didn't even get drank.
What's crazy is I didn't even know that like that bottle service costs that much money.
It's expensive.
Especially in LA. Like that was,
oh my god,
that was a couple $1,000s that guy probably like got for us. Like that was super nice of him, and like so nice that no one had to pay anything.
Well, when you own the club, you're not paying that much for it. But
I don't know if he really,
you got to pay for it.
I don't know if he really owned the club or if he was like a promoter that like kind of said that.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
We don't really know. We didn't like, he was there. He had like a whole bunch of like young girlfriends. It was a really weird situation, but we were like, whatever, it's free.
I think KSI had his after party there too.
Yeah, KSI was there, and he had like his whole little squad.
Yep.
And it was so fun, which we actually have to plan. If we're going to go out after your fight, we want to get like a party bus and like get a little plan going for the squad for all the Michigan people that come. I don't know what's and our Arizona friends.
I don't know what's in Austin, Texas, but we got to figure out.
I know that there's probably a couple of like fun clubs we could go to after, or like something to go celebrate. So I'm looking forward to that.
If you guys are interested in coming to the fight, I will leave a link down below. That supports me if you guys do buy tickets. If not, you can watch it on TV, which would be super hype.
And how do they do that? Explain how they do that.
It's on the DAZN app, and just follow us on social medias, and we'll be posting about how to watch that,
how to stream it. And like I'm pretty sure if you guys, it's not too expensive, and you guys can start like a free trial.
There's a free trial as well for it, but come out to the fight. We'll do a little meet and greet probably out there. It'd be super fun.
We meet so many people at your last fight. Yeah. So like if you do, they kind of allow sometimes people to come down and go.
That's November 19th though. So it's coming up. Like we're like 2.5 weeks away. It's
at the Moody Center, is it?
At the Moody Center.
The Moody Center.
MOODY.
I'm excited. I'm waiting for all my outfits to come in. Gotta be stunting, you know.
Proposal round 2 coming. But I think that pretty much wraps it up for episode 6.
I know.
Your Cup of Tea podcast. We will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching and listening.
Bye, guys.